Omaha's news leader, chronicling the stories and people making a difference in our community. This is KETV Newswatch 7's Chronicle.
I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will they be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream.
He was a leader, a dreamer, a change maker. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. stands among the most revered men in history, and his legacy of love and equality has proved unstoppable. Good morning, I'm David Earl. Welcome to Chronicle. Today we look at the continuing impact of the civil rights visionary more than 50 years after his death. You'll hear from community leaders working to impact change and students lifting their voices higher. But first, it's important to recognize that this holiday almost didn't exist. 4 days after Dr. Martin Luther King's assassination, Michigan Senator John Conyers introduced a bill to create a day of remembrance in honor of Dr. King. The measure was not passed. Year after year, the bill died in Congress. Then finally, almost 20 years later, Martin Luther King Jr. Day was established as a national holiday in 1986. At the time, only 27 states honored the holiday. It took another 17 years for the entire country to recognize it. Thankfully, it didn't stop there. In 1994, Martin Luther King Jr. Day was designated as a day of service, and now communities are making it a day on, not a day off. We caught up with some volunteers who say they're aiming to keep Dr. King's message alive. KETV Newswatch 7's Naya Gonzalez has that story.
The mattresses are gonna go though.
Organizing, folding, and sorting. In honor of MLK Day, College Possible teamed up with UNO students to help the Omaha Home for Boys near 50th and Ames.
We are always receiving donations here at Youth Mart, and we have one part-time worker, so it's really nice to have those extra hands on deck to help put away donations.
Martin Luther King Jr. Day is very symbolic for all people and community members and organizations that are working towards a more equitable vision of tomorrow.
The vision for Omaha Home for Boys, helping today's youth and empowering the community.
It's really important, not here just at Youth Mart, but around the Omaha community, to be lending a helping hand.
And across town near 24th and Leavenworth, Together Inc. in Partnership for Kids serving up breakfast to support the Alliance for a Better Omaha.
Thank you.
Today is really about honoring the legacy of Martin Luther King Jr. and his really commitment to service.
And bringing the community together.
I feel like people should continue doing that, working as a community to make people equal.
In Omaha, Naya Gonzalez, KETV Newswatch 7.
All right, you saw some UNO students there with Together Inc. The university hosts its own MLK Day of Service each year. It's one of its 15 signature service days. Volunteers from the school and the community are grouped together, and they're paired with nonprofits. It's all a part of an effort to create a more empowered community. And joining me now is one of the organizers of UNO's MLK Day of Service, Jeffrey Southall, serves as the Assistant Director of UNO's Civic and Social Responsibility Office. Jeffrey, thanks for being here with us this morning.
Glad to be here. Thank you.
Let's start with the event tomorrow. What can people expect when they show up to help?
So our Martin Luther King Day of Service, we actually invite not only the UNO community, but also community groups, as well as school districts in the Omaha, greater Omaha area. And we come together under one umbrella to celebrate the life, legacy, and vision of Dr. Martin Luther King through service. This day begins with, of course, breakfast, but also a pre-reflection of what it is that, while we're there, why have we committed to this day, the nonprofit or the institution that they will be serving for that day. And that's before we embark on the service project in itself.
Yeah, and there are a whole bunch of different nonprofits that you guys are partnered with. I mean, can you give us a sense of the array of different organizations?
So we'll be serving at Habitat for Humanity, both in Omaha and in Council Bluffs, Catholic Charities, also Do Space. One of my most exciting project where we'll be working on is actually creating Valentine's Day cards to send to our servicemen overseas.
Yeah, you know, when you show up tomorrow and participate, is it kind of a random assignment, or have some people decided, I want to partner with one particular?
It's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Some of our volunteer groups have asked to be assigned to serve at a particular nonprofit, and then others are just there to serve and just put me wherever I'm needed.
Yeah, you guys have been doing this for many years now. When you look at the overall impact on the community through just the day of service, and you think about what has changed in Omaha because of it, or even around the world, What do you see?
I see a lot of beauty, if I can use that word. I left actually for college in 2003 and moved back in 2013. And in that 10-year gap, I was able to see a lot of evolvement in Omaha, within the inner city of Omaha, the greater Omaha. I mean, every institution, including our Omaha Public School District, as well as University of Nebraska at Omaha as well. It gave me a lot of hope. It gave me a lot of, I guess I was extremely proud to make the decision to come back to Omaha to serve in my community. With my students in the Office of Civic and Social Responsibility, I make sure that they understand that service is more than just volunteering during a convenient time in your life. It's not only that, but it's actually a lifestyle. It's the placement of your heart and your mind and putting that into action.
Yeah, obviously the work that you guys are doing at UNO is just part of a larger national day of service. Why do you think service is so central to Dr. King's legacy?
Service is central to Dr. King's legacy in that he fought for more than just equality and for everyone to be treated fairly. He wanted also, I believe he wanted all of us to look at the inner man and to see ourselves first, and to understand that this world is bigger than ourselves, and that in everything that we do in our day-to-day routine, that in all that we do, we should make sure that we're doing it for a greater cause, and not only for ourselves, but for something bigger than ourselves. And when we do that, there's a better return outside of the financial impact, but it's more of self-actualization.
I'm sure that there are a lot of people out there that aren't making service a regular part of their life, right? And I'm sure you've heard all of the excuses, right, that a lot of people have. MLK Day is a wonderful way to jump in and start that process of getting involved, right?
Yeah. It's a great start in that, like I explained to my students as well, is that it's not serving it can be tied to funding. I'm a professional. I see that I'm serving the UNO community, which serves the Omaha community, which serves the universe, the universe at large. So it's more than just being paid. It's actually just giving your time and understanding what it is that you're doing and being purposeful in that.
What advice would you give to folks who are looking to get involved, looking to make service a bigger part of their lives, not just on this one weekend? How can they get started on that journey?
It's easy to get started if you have a passion, if there's something that you feel passionate about, that you have a longing to be attached to outside of your 8 to 5. I encourage everyone to find out, research the different nonprofits in the Omaha community, connect with those at your church, at your schools, at your jobs. That can also be a resource for you as well.
Yeah, one of the things that I am so impressed with routinely in Omaha is the amount of nonprofit work that happens here. Yeah. And I mean, just talk about this a little bit. You spent some time away at college. You decided to come back to Omaha. When you're not in Omaha and you're spending time somewhere else, it's nothing like here, right? It's amazing to have the perspective and the impact that the nonprofits have here.
Yeah. It's really an outstanding message that we in Omaha actually get, and we get to actually sing to the nations. UNO, in fact, is very proud that we exhibit and we actually embody the fact that we, as faculty, staff, administrators, and students, make sure that everyone has access to an exceptional lifestyle at UNO, and that starts with service.
Yeah. So if you're trying to figure out what kind of service is right for you, right? You want to get started on this journey, you want to make it a bigger part of your life. What tips would you provide to those folks to make sure that they're going to do something that's sustainable?
One thing I really encourage people to really do the research. Like I said, if there is something, and it could be as simple as whatever organization that you're a part of, if there's something that you go to routinely or religiously outside of work, get on a committee, decide, ask, can I be a part of this? And if you plant that seed, then you'll be able to. More opportunities will come. Then if you do the work well, you want to do more. You want to impact more, and that kind of thing. And it's really, it really is a beautiful thing when you no longer think about yourself, but you look at you search out resources to actually expand yourself to touch others.
And passion is a really important part of that, right? You should be doing things that you're passionate about because that helps you continue on the journey.
Exactly. Yeah. When our passion is what drives us. Our passion is what directs us to self-actualization or to strive for self-actualization. If we're not passionate about anything, we're either wasting our time or honestly, we're not living the life that or celebrating the life that we've been given.
As you reflect on MLK Day here in the year 2020, what do you hope for in the next few years as service continues to be an important part of it?
I like to think that the year 2020 is the year of perfect vision. So I believe this is a great start for the next decades to come. Mm-hmm. I feel like if we haven't started now, I think we should begin at this moment to be our better selves, to give to a greater cause for an outstanding impact.
Awesome. Well, Jeffrey Southall from UNO, thanks for being here with us this morning as we mark this holiday.
Thank you.
Coming up, some Omaha students are living the dream. They're honoring Dr. King's memory and showcasing their talents in an annual competition. We're going to talk to a couple of this year's performers. Stay with us.